All right, we're all set. I'll throw it to you, Joss.
All right, turn up. Here we go. I get to lead this call off, and I'm so excited. First of all, looking over the people that are on here, and I do see a couple new faces that weren't with us at Celebration, which is great. That's why we're having this call. And I see a bunch of other awesome people that I just saw this past week, so I get to see your lovely faces again. And so what we want to do here is really recap Celebration. And why is that? Because Celebration is awesome. And we literally get so much about the company, so much about each other, so much about the community. And we just really want to be able to share that, not only for those that were there, maybe catch some things from the breakout sessions that you didn't get to see yourself. And then for people that weren't there, we get to give you the we all got. And it's amazing. So I want to start off by saying Celebration seems to be getting better and better. I mean, for those OG veterans like Lindsay and Lisa that have been to a number of them, you guys can probably have more to say about it. But now I've been to my third Celebration, and it's just awesome. And I just want to create with you, when you step into this room of 15,000 people with countries from all over the world, with Colombia blowing their vuvuzelas, and if you don't know what that is, you can Google it or watch a soccer match. You have like people from Australia and Canada, people holding, like Australia holding up these big, huge blow-up kangaroos. Like, the energy is so high, and to be expected with that many people, but very soon you really get to experience what Isagenix is really about. I mean, Eric comes out and just shares like about the values. So immediately you really you're in this community of people that are not only out for feeling the best they have ever felt, and some of them are just there for that, I will say, but then there's others like they really share this gift with people. But what happens is it's an atmosphere for supporting each other. There's like no energy of competition or judgment. It's just pure excitement to be a part of something greater than the individual. And, like I said, Eric comes out and he really creates the values that Isagenix is as a company, which you hear all throughout the weekend. You hear about community, you hear about family, you hear about values, you hear about integrity. And the integrity not only just in the products, which we hear about also. Quick little segment to dairy-free bars. Come on, who's excited about that? Give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't had, oh, come on, Danny, come on. Dairy-free bars came out, and if you were there, you actually really got a sense of that they are committed to not only because the demand is there, but also just for really innovating in the health space, right? That's another thing you get from Isagenix. They really are about innovating in this space. And one of the things I want to say is I tried both of the bars, and not only do I think they are right on par, if not better than the bars that are already there, but I had to think it to myself, vegan bars are trash. So, I mean, just tasting, like no one seemed to really be able to put it together. So here I am putting these dairy-free bars up against how good of tasting the current ones are. And remember, these are vegan, these are dairy-free, so those are amazing. And one of the things I want to share around innovation that you really get a sense of at Celebration is they truly are out to become and are and will become the largest health and wellness company in the world. And you hear that from the executive leadership team, you hear that from the founders, you hear that from the trainers. There's such a posture here that what Isagenix has going on, the integrity, what we're out for, and the innovation and the new products, we are seriously on the path to becoming the largest health and wellness company in the world. Let me just check in there. I'm not sure if everyone heard me exactly. Okay. So that's kind of what I took away, and being in that space when we conclude with like the sessions, we get to be with this team that's on this call right now. And I was sitting in the seat and I was like, this is how I wish society was in general. Like, is Whitney on here? It's like you're hugging strangers, and for some of you, maybe that's weird, but that's like, I like that. I like hugging strangers. Uh-huh. And like people are just smiling at each other. You don't know people, but you're high-fiving them. And you know what I got from myself? Like that's how people want to be in society. That it really is. And there's things that stop people from looking good or feeling like they can't fully express themselves. People think that they're weird. But what happens is, and Isagenix allows for an environment for people to really be who they truly want to be. And I really get that because the conversations we all have as a team really reflect that people care about one another. And I think that's really what I left with most, and really what I loved about Celebration maybe the most. So I wanted to recap and welcome you all. Thank you for being on here. And I'd like to hear from a couple of people. What was a highlight that you took away as far as an experience? And also answer that question, but let me know what number of Celebration was that for you? Michael.
You guys hear me through my microphone? Good. Awesome. So Celebration was awesome, as I'm sure you guys got from what Aaron just created if you weren't there. And the first day, really before the event even started, Eric Worre opened up or did a leadership training, and it was like bomb. In my experience during that training, yes, Brad, mind blown over and over and over again. I didn't know it was possible, but my experience was like every experience I've had through this journey, whether it's product use, whether it's through business growth, was completely validated. Like he spoke to network marketing as a profession, and that all the experiences we're having are just, and then he said something at the very end. No, this is from another talk, but I connected the two. So at another talk I was at, it's like, what the speaker said was, until you speak to or have a conversation with 100 people about your vision, about your journey, about what we're up to with Isagenix, your journey hasn't even begun. Like once you get to 100, then you go back to 1, and then the journey really begins. And I just got that, like the more conversations I can have, the more I can do groundwork and talk to people, like the more this journey is just going to take off, and we're really just getting started. And, you know, for me, I'm almost, in December, it'll be 2 years, and I really do have the experience after Celebration of only now just getting started, like for real getting started. And, you know, that could exist as like a bad thing, but for more in existence for me. So, yeah, that was a big thing that I took away, and that was mostly on the first day.
Michael, man, thank you so much for mentioning that. Yeah. I saw Lindsay's hand right there.
Hey guys, so first of all, I want Aaron Freeman to just follow me around as like my hype man wherever I go. If I could just like make enough money in Isagenix to hire you, that'd be great. And you captured so beautifully what the event was like. And this for me was, I counted with Elliot, this is our 7th celebration. We've never missed one since we started, and I've never missed a major event at all. And honestly, if that's not a clue, I don't know what is. I mean, just getting to the events, not having them be negotiable has been a big factor in our success. But it's amazing how each and every one, I still get new things, or I hear things newly. And we really created for ourselves, and this is a lot of where the whole theme of the next chapter came from. Going in, I was committed to viewing that event like it was my first, and treating today like it's the first day I'm starting my business, which I already started with an enrollment, which is pretty exciting. And that was my biggest takeaway, is just how I hold the control. I hold the power to go to any event, any training, and choose to view it as my first, choose to get everything out of it that I possibly can. And when I went in with that mindset, I'm amazed at what I did get out of that event, a lot of which Michael captured in what he shared.
Yeah, thank you so much, Lindsay. I see Liz. I saw Liz.
So, I mean, same story. I cannot even pinpoint one thing that I learned. I learned so much at Celebration. And, going back to Eric Worre's talk, it was amazing. And when he said, look back over the last 3 months and what would you pay somebody to do the job that you did? It's really eye-opening to think about that, and I kind of relayed that back to my own personal health journey as well. So business side and personal side, what results could I have expected for the work that I put in? I couldn't expect any more because, that's just the way it is. The other thing that I really took out is, I am really good at this, is setting goals that I know I can achieve, which seems counterintuitive, but I don't like not achieving them. And I need to learn to be okay with not goals even higher so that we can at least get halfway there. Because without setting those goals, we're not going to get anywhere. And so that was big for me. And getting comfortable with the uncomfortable, I could go on, but just so much content in 1 week. And I already can't wait for my next celebration. I can't wait for my next big event. That was my first one. And you can't even describe the vibe going on in that room. It was amazing.
Oh, so powerful. Thank you for mentioning that. And, it's like there's so many things. And I'm glad we get to do this because we get to bring up so many things that may have even passed us by. They're just straight up gold nuggets. So I saw Amy and I saw Brad. So Brad, and then we'll finish up with Amy.
This was our fifth. That's just crazy to me. Our fifth celebration. But here's the deal: we were like product closet users, and we didn't really want to do this business for the first 2 years. But the results spoke to us, so we casually shared. But we attended, I would say, 4 to 5 major events and didn't bring anyone. We brought nobody because we just wanted to go just to learn, right? But I'll tell you what, and Eric Worre hit this on the nail on the head with this. He said, if you focus on your leaders, the money will follow, the success will follow, the rank advancements will follow. And it was for us, for me at least, just a total highlight to see Amy and Margie and Jarrett and a few of our other team catch the vision and see what this could really do for their future. We've heard a lot of the stuff before. We learned a lot of stuff, but there's nothing better than seeing that light bulb get turned on somebody else. And it is just, it's very rewarding to see other people get the light and just get it. So if I can leave you with anything, never show up to an event alone. Always bring people, share the vision, bring them along, take them on the journey, guys, because honestly, don't do what we did because it put us back a long way before we actually figured things out and started to run.
Brad, wow, thanks for that. I can hear the light and the service, the leadership of service that you really have right now. Amy.
Hey, guys. So this was my first celebration, second major event. I went to NYKO in Dallas, which was awesome. This was times cool to see so many people. I would say the one thing that resonated the most with me, and I posted it today on my personal page, was, a goal without action is a dream. And I feel like a lot of times with myself, I set these goals, but I'm not really doing anything to achieve the final result. And I feel like it was wow, I have to really put action to the things that I'm saying I want to achieve. And that's daily consistent action. And I think that goes to say for the 90-day game plan, it goes into goals and how you're going to achieve your goals physically. So for me, that was a boom moment. Whoa, okay, yeah, it's just a dream. You're just dreaming if you're not going to actually put and implement the things that you want for your life and to try to reach those goals. So that was aha moment for me. And it was awesome. I enjoyed the team. It was great getting to see everybody. Being over here in DC, it's so great to finally get to put faces and, give big hugs and stuff, where it's just, a little detached over here, but I love being able to connect with you guys at these events. So thanks for the encouragement. And yep, I'll be going to the next event for sure and hopefully bring some people with me.
You will be, and I can hear your fire. Thank you for sharing that, definitely. So I'm sure there's lots of other things we could talk about. There were so many great things that were shared at Celebration. But so what we want to leave you guys with for the rest of this call is to build on the simplicity and the clear path to really making your dreams like really happen. And that building belief, having it be simple. And I just want to say for myself, we had a few conversations going into Celebration about not really sure. People didn't feel like there was really a clear path. I felt like we pulled that forward, and Isagenix and Celebration just straight up delivered. Like, we as a team manifested the simplicity that was there. So what we like to do now for the rest of the call, and I'm going to turn it over to Lindsay to start us off, but I think all of us got such a clear path to action and a clear path to creating the attitude and beliefs that this is so simple, and that's what we want to do with the rest of this call. So Lindsay, can you lead us away?
Thank you, guys. Yes, so this is typically coming out of Celebration is one of the biggest times in Isagenix. It's one of the reasons why you'll hear us just harp on events and stress the importance, because you get so much out of the event that it really propels your business forward into that next quarter. And one of the tools that Isagenix has given us is a whole roadmap for success, for injecting life and momentum into your business. And that is the 90-day game plan. And we as a team are going to be, for anyone who wants to participate, working through this 90-day game plan together. So I want to create some context around that and really share why this is such an invaluable tool that they've provided us with, and what it can do for your business if you allow it to. If you really commit and go all in for 90 days, the magic that can happen. And I think Eric Worre really said it best. And if you guys aren't familiar with that name, he's a network marketing trainer, just industry trainer. He has a great book called Go Pro. That is number one thing on your to-do list, is order that book and read it, or download it and listen to it if you haven't already. And honestly, it'd be a great way to kick off your 90-day game plan, whether or not you've already read it or listened to it. Do it again. Listen to that once a quarter and implement it in your business, and things will start to change. But what Eric Worre said, he gave this amazing analogy. There was so much gold in what he shared, but this one was really showing the power of a 90-day push and what it can do for a business. So he gave the analogy of an airplane trying to take off. And he even asked in the audience if there was anyone who was a pilot. I think there were one or two people. And he said, what would happen if I went to take off and I put the throttle, I think that's what it's called. I don't fly airplanes, but the thing that you push and it makes it go, what if you were just to push it 50%? Would the plane ever really get off the ground? Probably not, right? If you pushed it at 75%, would you ever become airborne? No. You'd probably go faster, but you'd end up kind of flying around, going around in circles, making circles, but never actually taking off and clearing the runway, right? It takes 100% effort, 100% throttle to get that plane off the ground. Once it's at a certain altitude, then it can cruise. So think about how that relates to our business. A lot of times there's that popular saying, right? Slow and steady wins the race. I am here to tell you, in network marketing, slow and steady can be painful, especially if, and I'm assuming for people who are showing up to a call like this, you see a vision for something more. Even if you can't quite put your finger on it yet, what you want this business to do, you at least see the potential of residual income. If you're not quite there yet, that's okay too. If you're still just kind of like checking it out, trying to think about how this is going to fit into your life, that's okay. But I'm here to tell you that for those of you who know that you see the bigger vision, you want to be on stage, you want to be replacing your income or creating a really significant secondary income. At some point in your Isagenix business, it is going to require you to go all in 100% for a short burst of time. Again, you're not going to do that every day, 365 days of the year, but putting in the work over a 90-day period of time, especially while your team members are all doing it with you, is the way to create the foundation of lasting residual income. And there are stories upon stories. I know, I'm sure there's a ton in the book GoPro. I know I've read some in other books of other network marketing industry leaders, people who aren't even in our company. Their comp plans are much more challenging than ours, but they can tie back most of their income to a short 90-day burst that they did. Most often it's at the beginning of their business. But if you're anything like me, I think in this group, I've been around the block the longest. We're in our 6th year with Isagenix. And let me tell you that I've tried it the slow and steady and painful way, not knowing that I was doing that, but I was really only giving my 70%, allowing other people around me to think it was 100. But I always knew it wasn't 100. And I have the results to prove that it wasn't 100. Now, here's the cool thing about residual income. Consistent effort over time is going to pay you dividends. If you're even just in this 90-day game plan and you say, all right, at this time in my life, I may not have the time or the mental space to go my 100%, but I'm going to do something. I'm going to do at least, consistent effort every single day. I'm going to plug into these calls and stay inspired. But this time in history is not my 100% time. That's okay. But once you go all in is when the magic starts to happen. That's where you start to create your residual income story. So that can be kind of tough once you've been in the business for a while to keep generating for yourself, which is why we created, that this, you can start over. You can really choose to start your business. And the way I look at that is the day you say, okay, I'm going all in, I'm going 100%, that can be your day one. Whether that's 6 years into the business, 2 years in, 2 months in, it doesn't matter when that happens. You can choose your own day one, the day that you decide to go all in and play at 100% and see what happens. So for me, today is day one in our business, actually playing at 100% what I know I'm capable of. And I don't actually know what that looks like, right? I know what I've done in the past. So every day it's going to be discovering what that next level is. Where am I comfortable that I can be uncomfortable? Where can I be unreasonable, like Liz said, and set a higher goal for myself than I know I'm capable of? Even if I fall short of it, I'm going to go further than if I had set the reasonable goal I had. And with that, we're going to focus on some of the basics. In this, we're going to have a team huddle every Monday as sort of our way to plug in and get recharged. So just like in sports, right? A huddle is the time where you come together, you talk about strategy, you talk about plays, you might, rework some of the things you've been doing, but then the actual game happens out on the court. So for us, that's in our lives. And it can be really easy during these nights, getting excited, coming out of an event and setting an unreasonable, this crazy goal, like I'm going to be executive in 5 minutes. Who's ever done that, right? I know I have. And getting so focused on this big goal that we lose sight of, well, what does that look like tomorrow? What action do I have to take tomorrow? And then the next day, and then the next day. So in this 90-day game plan, in our conversations, we're going to be focusing with you on the basics, and we want you to set goals. We want you to dream big and think about where you want to be in your business or financially, how much you want to earn in the $1 million challenge that Isagenix has put out. But where we're going to focus and where I encourage you to focus is, what are your daily consistent actions, and track those. Reward yourself based on how many contacts you make, how many people you've talked to, rather than a new rank or a new cycle goal. Because if you focus on the basics and you focus on blessing more and more people every single day, stretching yourself beyond the number of people you think you can talk to in a given day, and some days it may be 2, other days it might be 10, but consistently making sure that you are talking to new people and following up with people about Isagenix, if you track that, that's where the results will compound over the 90-day game plan and set you up for a phenomenal 2017. And I really want you guys to get that. And before I pass it over, I really want you to take a moment now. And if you have, a piece of paper or something, even just in your phone, I want you to think right now about, where do you want to be December 31st? That can be a physical goal. If you have a physical goal, capture that. And I want you to write it in a specific way. I'll tell you that in a second. Where do you want to be in your business? It could be, a certain cycle goal that you want to reach, a certain rank advancement like director, executive, or it could just be, hey, I want to have earned, an extra $5,000 between now and December 31st. And here's the thing I don't want you to ask yourself. What is reasonable? What's realistic? Just scratch that, right? Because who cares what's realistic, right? Set something that makes your heart beat a little bit faster. And I want you to write at the top of your paper the words, I will, or I am, and then fill in the blank, right? Or if you're going for a cycle goal, right? On December 31st, I have generated an extra $5,000 in residual income. But the point is to write it as though it has already happened. Write it in the first person. You don't want to say, I wish, I'm going to try. You want to say, this is done. So whatever that is for you, and I'm going to pass it over to Eva next, just to talk about the importance of having those targets to work toward. And like I said, we want you to write that and focus on it daily, visualize that as already done, but then set it aside and then focus and day to day really look at, how many people have I talked to today? I mean, because when it comes down to it, that's what is ultimately going to make the difference, is how many lives you bless and how many people you introduce this to over the next 4 months and beyond. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to Miss Eva.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me okay? Yeah, I'm in a coffee shop, so it might be a little bit loud. But yeah, speaking to what Lindsay was sharing, really what I want to talk about is burning desire. What is the thing that gets you up in the morning, that is going to have you go out and speak to 1, 2, 3 people a day? So you're hitting those goals. We have the things that we can control, like the actionable goals, like that I want to talk to 3 new people today or every day. What is the burn? What is the drive behind all of that? And you can have your why or your burning desire, your long term. Maybe it's that dream home. Maybe it's being able to travel when you want to travel. Maybe it's paying off student debt. Maybe it's retiring your husband, retiring your wife, whatever that long-term goal is. But then what is the burning desire today or tomorrow? What is it that is going to, no matter what, is going to have you be unreasonable? Since that seems to be the theme of the evening, is like talking about being unreasonable. And it's only through that burn in your belly that's going to help you get there each and every day, to step outside your comfort zone, or step outside or become that person you don't know yourself to be just yet. So in setting those goals, your biggest support is going to be your burning desire. And for those of you that were at Celebration, we heard some incredible stories. And for those of you that weren't, there was one person that comes to mind right now, Dave MacArthur, who was a mechanic and could barely make ends meet, working 17, 18 hours a day. His burning desire was just to be able to take his kids on roller coasters, or to have enough food that they're not strapped on a weekly basis. I mean, the simplest things. And those simple things, gives you that fire, because we know this does take work. We always say this is not free, or this is network marketing, right? So it does take work, and it is a lot of self-generating, even though we come together as a team and we're here to cheer each other on. It is up to us. You know, we all have busy lives, we're all working or in school. So no, what is it going to be for you that no matter what, you're going to get up each day and say, okay, who can I speak to? Who can I pour some love into? Who can I encourage to help them get where they want to go and to help yourself get where you want to go? So I'm actually interested to hear, you know, if there's one or two people out there who want to share what their, you know, short-term burning desire, their burning desire now is, and maybe their long-term burning desire.
I wanted to say something about it too. Is like, and Erin and I were talking about this last week, is like being really authentic about what it is. Like not having to have the one that sounds good or looks good or like sounds like you're going to save the world. Like that I think we all want to contribute to the world, but especially as we're creating goals along the way, like being authentic to what it is. And my goals along the way weren't saving the world. They were paying off student loans. I had a burning desire to do that. I had paying for a Costa Rica trip with my brother. And now, like, I do have a, you know, grandiose goal of changing the world, but my most authentic goal right now is I want to be on stage. Like, that to me gets me pumped up. So pumped up, I realized that at Celebration last week, that really in action this week, once I got authentic, you know, and, you know, so that's my invitation, is just say whatever. I heard a girl last week say, you know what I really want? A Chanel bag. That makes me work, you know, and of course she cares about the world, and of course she wants to make a difference. We all do. But what's going to get you into action is the authentic thing you can say, and it might not sound like really good and pretty. So mine is like authentically, like I want to be on stage really bad.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, Michael.
Yeah, so that's also there for me too, Jocelyn, if I'm really honest. Like, I want to be on stage. I want to be training other people. But what initially popped in my head right away when you said that, Eva, was in a year's time, I want to be able to live anywhere in the United States with my girlfriend. Like, when she finishes her rotation and she gets a position somewhere, I want to say, like, okay, I'll meet you there.
I love that. That's so awesome. Freedom. Time freedom, home freedom. Anybody else want to share? No? Well, awesome. I mean, oh yeah, Liz.
Sorry, I was trying to unmute. I guess my kind of, again, it's hard for me. My goal that I want to be able to achieve is I want to be the IsaBody champion. I told Lindsay that. And I'm serious. And I know that that's kind of a personal goal for my own health, but also a business goal. You know, seeing kind of those finalists up there, they all deserved it equally. But I think, you know, building a business is going to be important, and that's kind of my burning desire, overarching goal. And there's a lot of little things before that, but.
Love that. Well, we're going to cheer you on all the way to the stage, girl. That's awesome. So
yeah, and Amy too. We're going to be on the stage together.
Nice. I like it. So, you know, if you haven't identified your burning desire, really take some time, dig deep, and like Jocelyn said, be authentic. Be really authentic. It doesn't have to look pretty. It just has to be true and real to you. And that's going to be your fire each and every day. And if you forget it, maybe have an accountability partner. You share it with them and say, you know, when you need to be reminded of it, you have someone to go to remind you why you're doing what you're doing, especially the days you don't feel like doing anything. So from there, I'm going to pass it to Aaron, and he's going to talk a little bit more about just the basics, actions, and I'm going to throw it over to you.
Thanks, Eva. That was great. So coming from, like Eva just said, the burning desire, getting clear on that, your authentic desire. Lindsay talked about a 9-day game plan. So now, so simple. What I got the most from Celebration. There was a lot, but was from Jay Bennett, and he did the Key Business Building Activities Breakout. So quick show of hands, who all happened to be in that one? Okay, good. So just so you know that I'm not making this up, for those that weren't there, this is coming from Jay Bennett, who is the like ooh or ah necessarily about it, but he must know something about really being effective with people and really having like this work. So it was so simple. What what I'm gonna do is in a moment I'm gonna have all of you unmute yourself and you're gonna repeat whatever I say 3 times. So everyone unmute yourself. And even if you're in a mall, if you're on your phone, I don't care where you're at, if you're at a coffee shop, it might get weird for other people, but it's only going to be weird for them. It's not going to be weird for you.
I love it.
So the whole key to building this is so simple. If you want to do something different, once you get to the top 10 income earners, then you can have a conversation about how this is different. But this is how, repeat after me in my tone. A, B, C, 1, 2, 3.
A, B,
C, 1, 2, 3.
A, B, C, 1, 2, 3.
A, B, C, 1, 2, 3.
A, B, C, 1, 2, 3.
A, B, C,
1, 2, 3.
We should not start a band.
No bands here.
No.
You guys can mute again for now. So I want you to remember that because it is just that simple. Jay Bennett, this is all that he does. Okay, so write this down if you didn't hear this. A is for attitude. So this is going to be a daily practice. Wake up and really check in with your overall attitude. What's your attitude about yourself? What's your attitude about the business? Attitude about getting up at whatever time you're getting up to. A is for attitude. B is for belief. So belief, again, belief in yourself, belief that you can do this, belief that you can achieve that burning desire and that goal that you have for yourself, for those around you, for the leaders that you want to bring up, belief in the company, belief in the product, belief in network marketing. So those are different areas of belief, but wherever you happen to be at in that day, once you check A, once you check B, look at your belief. Maybe you need to work on some belief for yourself. Maybe you need to put belief into somebody else, or maybe you should, maybe belief in network marketing. But find out which one it is for you that day and just really build yourself to a 10 right there in the belief. C is for commitment. Once you got the attitude and the belief, really come back to remembering what you're committed to. And really stay and stand inside of that commitment for whether it be in a burst, like you might be in a burst like Lindsay talked about, you might be in a short like 30-day burst. You might be committed to, let's say, building a teammate in particular. If you've given your word to a part of what Isagenix is about is integrity. So go back and check on your commitment to yourself, to those around you, to the team, whatever it might be. So check into those 3. Attitude, belief, commitment. So then that could be fast. It might not take you that long. And then so here's where you get into action. One is to use the product. And Jocelyn has something she wants to say about it.
Oh, yes. So inside, step 1 is use the product and help others use the product effectively. And something that I just had a whole new view at Celebration was the power of the IsaBody Challenge. Just seeing these transformations, I've used IsaBody, I've done it, I've enrolled people in it, but never this is the way. And I saw it as a business building tool like I'd never before. People are pumped about signing up for a 16-week challenge. For whatever reason, it's exciting. And we came back, we signed up, started today, and it's been it's provided so much freedom to talking to people rather than just hey, I want to talk to you about Isagenix. It's hey, I want to talk about this thing called an IsaBody Challenge, a 16-week challenge. And I've literally just been texting people that some have never talked to me about this 16-week IsaBody Challenge. it's clicking for people more than anything I've ever said before. We've already enrolled 3 people, and we have 5 more people lined up this week because it's just simple. It's clear. People are like, a 16-week challenge, that sounds cool. So I would just invite you to sign up for the IsaBody challenge. Get pumped up about how powerful it is. I mean, you get free product at the end of it. You get inspired, you get into action, and then it's such an easy way to invite people into it rather than just like Isagenix as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you get me, give me a thumbs up. So that's what he talked about inside of Use the Product, is everyone sign up for the IsaBody challenge.
And Healthy Mind.
And Healthy Mind and Body, sorry. That's the other thing, is having everyone do Healthy Mind and Body as they start. I know that made a huge difference for me the first time that we did that. So it's
yeah, and a lot of people you'll find when you go to make a health transformation, even though the products are great, the structure can be there, the thing is that people's mindset doesn't also transform with that. They don't know themselves to be someone that's also healthy. So to really fully have that transformation, it is really of the mind and the body. So number 1, just reiterating, that's use the product for yourself and get yourself signed up for IsaBody and Healthy Mind and Body. So number 2 is talk to people. Number 2 is talk to people. Talk to people, talk to people, talk to people, talk to people. Number 2 is talk to people. Talk to people, talk to people, talk to people, talk to people. And we as humans, let's be real, but we all want to be connected. We all want to be in relation to each other. We are just born to talk and communicate to people. And there's other stuff that happens, but number 2 is talk to people. So then going to number 3 is use the tools. So there are a lot of different tools that are out there. A tool for you might be a home launch party. It might be a 3-way call. It might be a Zoom call. It might be sending someone to IsaBody challenge. It might be use the Isagenix Tools app. It might be sending a video to someone via text. There are a lot of different tools that you can use, and it's going to take something just to, depending on maybe who the person is, and something Jocelyn and I have been talking about that we got from Peter Kelly is, yes, rules, and it might be a little different for people, but do what's authentic to you. Peter Kelly said, and it really blew us away the other week, she didn't like to call people. She didn't like to be on the phone. What was her zone of genius was to stand in front of people. She loved it and talk to people from in front of a group. So what did she do? She got people in a group and she talked to them. That's all she did. She didn't do anything else that was inauthentic to her. So I really want you to look at, yes, number 3 is use the tools, but what tool really is authentic to you, something that you're passionate about, something that's very easy, something that's your zone of genius. And that was something we even talked with like Leon and Lark about. Lark is about teachers and is about being able to share this in front of a group of teachers. So what did Lark go and do? She created a group of teachers to share this. And it was so much easier. So number 3, again, use the tools. And there are lots of them. Or there's a good amount, but find the one that's authentic to you. So let me go back and reiterate. These steps, in case you've forgotten, are A, B, C.
1, 2,
1, 2, 3. So I want to just kind of just bring this all together, that's how you want to operate for yourself. A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. That's attitude, belief, commitment. Use the product, talk to people, and use the tools. Now, what we do with that while we're talking to people and using the tools is we're building 2 events. So if you were to write down, I want you to put like events in the middle of your page. And what we're doing is the tools and the conversation is all we're from this call from the people, the difference that going to Celebration really made. It's amazing. You get to really see the community, the company, the global culture, and people are left on fire. Like they really get it. So events are so huge. And a part of what Eric Worre talked about, he really shared the numbers game. A person at an event on your team is equal to $1,000 a year for you. So just in the realm of numbers, that's what you can expect. So What we're going to do is ABC 1, 2, 3. We're going to build to events. So what you're doing for yourself is prior to this event to the left, you're doing ABC 1, 2, 3. You're building to the events. And it's going to take like 4 to 7 looks of these tools for people to really get started or get to this event. So you can know that that's what you can expect. People looks, 4 to 7 looks, and get them to an event. Now what happens is you get them to an event, and those that are there and are really ready to get started, post-event, what do you work with your people on? ABC, 1, 2, 3, you and me.
I have to live with it.
So this is how simple it is. Pre-event, you're ABC 1, 2, 3. You get people to events. Those that see the vision, whether it's health, whether it's business, whether it's getting their products paid for, what do you work with them on? Now they're doing ABC 1, 2, 3. And that is all that this really is. If you get confused, send me a message. And how this is going to be solved for you is ABC. Well, I'm not really sure, man. There's a lot going on. You say, great. ABC 1, 2, 3. And this is it. Like Jay Bennett, this is how he spoke about this. And like I said, number 4 income earner. If you got something better, we can have this conversation when you're in the top 10. Maybe we could switch it up. But until then, I think this is going to be the way to go.
Yeah. Awesome. Can I take a minute?
Whew, I'm sweating.
He's literally sweating. He's so fired up about this. So what we really want to take from this, moving forward, because this is going to be the huddle. Every Monday, the huddle. And here's what we see. For this next chapter, using that simple structure of ABC 1, 2, 3, everything's going to be centered around that. Now people have questions like, how we're going in depth. So we're going to go more in depth, but what we want to do on these calls in the future is interact more. We want to have people asking questions. Let's talk through a scenario that you felt was tricky or difficult. This is going to be the huddle. So it's not going to be a lot of like, we're going to train you something new. That's the simplicity. ABC 1, 2, 3 really is it. We're going to dive deeper into each of those elements. But we want you to come with, hey, I'm struggling with talking to people about this, or just really bringing scenarios that we can all talk through for these Monday night calls. And, really just we're all going to be working with the 90-day game plan. Like Lindsay said, we are sticking with the reach outs. The conversations, the people that are saying they're going to sign up from this week are because we set a certain goal of how many people we do over these last 3 days. So that really is such golden advice, is focus on the number of conversations you can have. And they're simple. They're simple conversations. So are you guys stoked about this next chapter? Who's stoked? Let's hear it. Okay, I'd like to hear from like 2 or 3 people what you're taking away from this call that you can immediately put into action. Like what to you has given you that extra bit of freedom and confidence? Yeah, Michael.
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing I'm taking away is ABC 1, 2, 3. That's what the next 90 days is going to look like for me. Keeping it simple is that ABC 1, 2, 3.
Love it. Awesome. Who else wants to talk? Someone who doesn't want to talk, it's your turn.
Kathy.
Yeah.
Okay, one thing that I really loved, and thank you, Eva, was we got the burning desire and all that, but it's what is going to get you to move out of your comfort zone. And so before I get up, I'm going to have to know exactly what it is that's going to move my butt out of that zone. And one thing, though, Dina, who's on the call but in her car, we heard from Jay Bennett. I think it was Jay, or maybe it was Zach Slobin. He drew a picture of the comfort zone on a white board, and then what people, what's inside your comfort zone, and people were going, work, my house, my job, my bills, my this, my that. And they were, all the things that we deal with every day that aren't really what we want for the future. And he goes, well, what would you like? And so then outside that circle, he was drawing, financial freedom, travel, blah, 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 all the things that are our dreams. And he's like, so really, is it really all that comfortable inside there? He goes, just get out and, get it done. So that's what I have to remember.
Love that. Thank you so much, Kathy.
Thank you.
Yeah, Margie.
So I really want to keep my eye on to be December 31st. And I think having Jared on board, we've got our vision board going. And I think really just writing that out together and seeing it happen and making it happen is just where I want to stay focused. And make
nice. Who's that next to you?
Oh, this is Abby.
Hi. Hi.
She's on the team.
Nice, girl. Thank you so much, Margie. That's awesome.
David has his hand up, even though it's not real.
Oh, David, you're being nominated. Where is David? Oh, there we go. Okay. We can't hear you. Nope.
Now, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, you put me on the spot, but that's good. That's exactly what I need. I am going to focus on the things that are going to get me to where I want to go. And the thought has occurred to me today, and it really solidified in my head, is that I need to focus on the people that I want to work with, not just who I can talk to, which I have been doing, the 3x3x3. And in addition to that, I really want to see myself talking to the people that I want to work with, who themselves will ABC 1, 2, 3. And that's something I haven't given 100% effort to yet. So that's the start for me, is focusing on a team of people to lead with me.
It's awesome.
Oh man, that's so good, David. And to that point, even if those people aren't in your life yet, putting the focus on what those people are like, who you would want to build with, that is what has the universe bring those people to you. That's so good.
Maybe one more and then we'll do a closing statement. Yeah, Brad.
Well, actually, I just want to touch on what Aaron just said. If you want to attract those people, you got to first be that person. Okay, guys, this is huge. If you are not building here and building your belief here, why would you ever attract people who would want that in their lives? So, really, guys, if you're serious about this, grow yourself, listen to podcasts, read GoPro, read other books that are going to build you up, because then you will start attracting exactly who you want to partner with in your lives.
Nice. Awesome. Totally. Be the one. I love that. So the last thing I want to just share is that really another thing that I think it was, who was the guy that you did ABC 1, 2, 3?
Jay.
Thank you. Jay. I can never remember his name for some reason. Jay talked about was as one team, like as our whole team coming together every week. And the culture is everyone you enroll that says they want to share, whether it's a little bit or a lot of it, having them come on to this Monday call, because they will hear things from other people that maybe you've never said before. So our vision for this call, like we used to have like a bunch of like little siloed calls. And if you still want to do like huddles and do more close coaching with a small group of people, keep doing that. But what we really see is the power of us all coming together, whether someone wants to just do a little bit or like just having everyone. That's how we invite you to use this. We see this eventually being 150 people on here every week. And really what you do with the people you bring on now is working with them, to just reach their goals, but they feel the culture. I mean, don't you guys just really feel the culture of this team, of this group? Like, that's what I think is like, I want people to feel this. I want people to see people like you. That's what we really have to offer people. So Any closing statements? Anybody want to say anything? Like just to kick off the 90 days, what are those last few words of just like, Yeah, Michael.
I have a question. Is there a maximum number of people we can have on this call?
Good question. Linz, does your account have a max?
It does, but I think it's a lot. It's like 500 people or something. I can find out.
I mean, that would be really cool as a team if we were just to max out whatever the limit is for number of people.
You have to get on 15 minutes earlier. You can't get on the call. Yeah.
That's right. Like by the end, we force you to upgrade your membership or something.
Game on. I like it.
All right, cool.
I love it. Well, and real quick before Brad says something, Aaron and I were saying just before this call, like, what if our culture was when we start people, we're like, oh yeah, people on average start with 10 or 20 people, like, yeah, that's the norm. We just created like a whole new normal instead of like, oh, it's normal to start with, a couple people. We're like, yeah, who are the 10, people that you're going to start with? So it's really like whatever we create as a team, this is a next chapter. This is a brand new start. We're trying to break all habits that we've had in the past, right? Like even limiting what people do with this. So anyway, Brad.
Well, I just wanted to say one thing as we're going into this next week, guys. This was said by somebody at Celebration. I'm not sure who, but it said, your future is a servant to your habits, and your habits are a servant to your environment. So guys, really look at what you guys are doing on a daily basis. And maybe your time is not going to be 100% devoted to Isagenix, but with what time you have, write down a list of the habits you want to implement every single day and go after those like it's the air that you breathe. And that just to me was huge. So I'll say that one more time. Your future is a servant to your habits. And then your habits are a servant to your environment. So if you are in an environment that is not feeding your soul, get out, go for a drive, go for a walk on that walk. But whatever you do, stay inspired, keep on rolling. And with that, I'm just going to go ahead and
yeah.
Again.
I had to. That was great. I love that.
Awesome, Brad. Thanks.
All right, y'all. Well, you guys are just rock stars. I feel blessed that we even get to do this. That we even have the opportunity to do something like this, to me, I think is just a gift that a lot of people would just beg for, this kind of opportunity. So I'm grateful to be with you all, to know you all, what you're up to. Like, just I'm so ready to see you guys achieve everything you want. So we will see you next week. We'll post if we're going to do 6:30 or 7. For those of you guys, like, what do you guys have a preference on the people on Mondays?
Especially if you're not in Pacific time zone, if it makes a difference for you.
Yeah, we're on the East Coast, and it's 9:30 p.m. for us. It's a little hard to get people to come on at 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
9:30 is late enough, but I think 10 might be pushing it to get people on the call for us.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Good. Cool. Okay, then I'm thinking we're going to go with 6:30. So thank you for that feedback.
Why don't we just go with it?
We're going with 6:30. There was someone who wanted to check in, but we're going with 6:30. Okay.
And we'll always record them. So if you miss one, we'll always post the recordings.
All right. Well, let's go and bless people this week. Woohoo!
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.